We've been going about 20 years. We started in 2003, starting from scratch and starting here in Melmerby as well. We've got a passion for cooking, and one of the main things we realised was that the flavours and the ethics of the ingredients that we could find in the market just weren't up to scratch in our opinion. So we thought, well, let's see what's out and around there, and in the end we realised the only way to do it is to do it yourself. We really just started from scratch because it was pre-internet, pre all those sort of things. So I literally got on a plane and went to India, and that's how we made our first contacts, and it grew from there.
We do about 400 in the range, so we do, you know, pepper isn't just pepper at Steenbergs, there's quite a variety. We do about 12 or I think even more of curry blends. So it's a whole variety of, to give you choice and so what you want. So it can be a tikka or tandoori, or can be like more Sri Lankan or Malay. It's very much, you can experiment or you can just choose your favourite and just go with it. We do things like anything from like lemon pepper, which is great if you don't do take salt and things. It's a kind of, you know, you can add it to a whole host of savoury products. And then we have our all-purpose ones, like we do ones for chicken and perfect salt, and meat ones which have got salt, black pepper and a range of herbs. But then we also do things, something, you know, they're just all slightly different, aren't they? You know, everyone's blends are slightly different, and it's what you want and what, you know, it's all your taste and flavour. It is what it says on the tin. You know, there's nothing else in it. It's organic. It's all blended and processed in the UK, and we find that people are surprised that things like our paprika is very, you know, our smoked paprika is very flavoursome and just very different. It doesn't hang around very long, and we're buying on quality.
The real challenge is finding the people who genuinely do organic. It's great to actually see the people and look them in the eye, see what they're doing, because when you walk out the door you have to be able to trust them. So it's not just about processes and corporates and so on. It's actually sort of working with people who believe in what they're doing, so then you feel that you can build this trust, this relationship through time. We will do anything that's a flavour, a natural flavour, so anything that's a spice. So everything from black peppercorns down to something like maybe a tamarind, or we'll even do beetroot powder, which is more of a colouring than anything else. But anything that's natural, anything that's plant-based, nothing that's, we don't touch anything that's animal-based or anything like that. So we're a vegan and vegetarian business. So pretty much anything. The blends are really just sort of starting with traditional classic blends. So we'll range from the mixed spice was sort of a classic English blend, herbs de Provence, which are more of a French blend. Then we'll go through to the curry powders. So we started by having a range of what I would call the core blends, and then over time people say, have you tried this? Will you do that? And we'll always give everything a go. You know, we'll listen to what our customers say, we'll give it a go. And because we do small batch runs, we can do almost 5 kilos of something. If somebody wants, I don't know, a Dutch type spice, we might do one of their mixed spices, and we can do it in small batches. How do we go about it? Well, everything's done by hand here, everything's weighed out, and we'll hand blend. So it's as simple as that. It's get your spices, weigh them out, mix them together by hand, and check the quality. If it's not a type of cooking that I know about, we'll start with recipe books, because recipe books you can get older ones, so you can get more traditional that way. So you'll start with a recipe that somebody has got and build it off the back of that. You'll trial it, maybe have 2 different types of it. So it develops over time. And sometimes it can take forever. So I remember when I first did Razzle Hanout, it took weeks to work out how to do it. When we did the Perfect Salt, which is one of our first blends, I did it once, it was disgusting. I did it again, and it worked perfectly. And ever since then, we've kept the same recipe. So that maybe took us half an hour, whereas Razzle Hanout took 2 to 3 weeks. The other thing is, we're quite happy, in fact we quite like things when they're complicated. We don't try and make them less complicated and oversimplify them. So if we went back to the Razzle Hanout that we were talking about, that's got 20 ingredients. Now if we were a big commercial business, we might reduce that down to 10 or 11. and the flavour might be just about okay, but it's not the proper thing. So once again, we quite like to actually make it as detailed and as difficult as possible for us sometimes. And it's that uniqueness, it's that attention to detail from the supply chain through to the end product. The most important thing is that our passion is that it's organic and that it meets environmental credentials. And we think that's important for the soil and for nature. And that's really the core of the brand. It's to ensure that we give everybody the best product they can possibly have, but it's also good and sustainable for the planet. And so future generations can be farming these products as well and enjoying them.